Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name is Acacia. Today I'm going to be talking to you about mental health books in the fiction genre. These are 5 books that have to deal with mental health in one way or another. I enjoyed all of these. I just haven't talked very much about some of them. Some of them I've mentioned a couple of times, but most of them I mentioned like once and then kind of moved on from. But I really enjoyed them and I would definitely recommend all of them. They are in no particular order though. I really have to stress that. This is not in order of anything. It is literally just how they are stacked. Yeah. So if you guys are interested in seeing nonfiction recommendations for mental health books, I will link the last video up in the cards. There we go, words. And let's get started. So the first one we have is The Girl on the Landing by Paul Torday. Okay. I flippin' love this book. I love this book. I love it so much. Technically, the mental health aspect of it is a surprise. So I'm not going to tell you what disorder it embodies and personifies. However, I am going to tell you it does have to do with mental health. It has to do with people and medications, and whether or not living on medications is a better alternative to living in your natural mental state. And it has a lot of interesting conversations, and it is very, very good. I love this book. I absolutely adored it. I would highly recommend it. Apparently I marked this one up quite a bit. Goodness. Yeah. I posted little notes and things, and I marked it up, and yeah, apparently I really enjoyed this book, which is great, because I did. This one is Savage Conversations by Leanne Howe. This one was an interesting one. So this is the story of what happened to Mary Lincoln after she was entered into Bellevue Place Sanitarium. She's tried and convicted of insanity, and her son puts her into a mental health facility, and she is under the impression that there is an Indian trying to get her, who is one of the dead Indians from a mass execution that occurred on her husband's orders, which I didn't know about. I kind of always liked Lincoln, but then there was a thing and execution of Indians, and no clue about that. That never read that, so I'm not amused, and I'm kind of offended that that's never taught, because that feels like a pretty big thing for a president to do, to require an execution. So I don't know, could be wrong, but she is under the impression that she is being haunted by the Indian, and the Indian was hung. So you get perspectives from the Indian, Mary Todd Lincoln, and the rope. It's really, really weird. It's definitely strange and feels otherworldly. You can feel the insanity moving through the book, and you kind of get a feel of darkness and strangeness, and it's really, really good. I really liked it. Definitely not one that I would recommend to everybody, but if you like more experimental work, this is really good, and I would recommend it. Yes. This one, I really enjoyed this one too. This is The Deeper the Water, the Uglier the Fish by Katia Akina. This one is from $2 Radio, and I super enjoyed this one. So this is a story of two sisters who are trying their hardest to take care of a mentally ill mother. And they are then taken away from her because of her illness, and she has to go stay in a facility. And they're given to their father, who they don't know, to take care of them. And it's all about them feeling guilt for not being there to take care of their mother. And you see flashbacks of what their mother used to do and how she used to treat them. And it's all really weird and very dark. But it was so good. I was really floored by this one. It was, I got it because it was recommended by Atasha Mosvik. And if you like my year of rest and relaxation, you will like this kind of recommendation. And I think it's right. Like, I really appreciated this. This was super good. The conversation of mental illness is really well done. The conversation of mental health is really well done. The conversation of feeling the urge to care for someone regardless of who they are. So a child taking care of a parent in this scenario was really, really important. The youngest of the two sisters has such a connection to their mother that whenever her mother goes into a fit or an episode, she will lose consciousness basically and go catatonic, because she feels so much and her body overloads. It was all really interesting and I really enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend it. It's high on my list. I read it this year and it's up there for favorite books of the year so far. So this is Eat Only When You're Hungry by Lindsay Hunter. This one is small, but it packs a punch. So this is the story of a man who he himself is addicted to food, and he is an overeater, and he is massively unhealthy, and he barely ever leaves his home, and he is definitely in danger health-wise, but his son, who is an addict, has been gone for 3 weeks, and so he wants to go and find him. It's a lot about love and relationships and how addiction can run in a family and how addiction is a mental health issue, not just a personal issue. There's a lot of love in this, a lot of forgiveness in this, and a lot of trying in this. It was really good. I definitely recommend this. It's so short. It's so short. It's 212 pages. It's less than that, actually. 209 pages. Really good book. Definitely recommend it if you're interested in kind of exploring the world of eating disorders, because this is a different kind of eating disorder. This is a food eating, a binge eating disorder, and then also addiction to food and to drugs. So really good, really effective. I really enjoyed it, and I would highly recommend it. And then the last one is Queenie. This is by Candice Carty-Williams. This is really good. I loved this book. This was, it's up there for favorite book of the year this year. It's not the favorite book of the year, but it's up there. So, this is the story of Queenie, who has been in a relationship for a very long time, and he then dumps her. Now, you think, oh, poor her, she's been dumped. But a lot of it is her not addressing traumas and depression and anxiety that she herself holds, and is suffering from quite drastically, to the point where it is affecting her day-to-day life. She makes a lot of bad decisions based on her whims and her not her intuition, her impulsiveness. You get frustrated with Queenie, you love Queenie, you're rooting for Queenie, you're mad at Queenie. It's all over the place, but it was a really good book and I definitely recommend it. It's compared to Bridget Jones's Diary. This is not as funny as Bridget Jones' Diary. This is a lot more serious, and it's definitely a lot more intuitive. I really love this book. I need to reread Bridget Jones' Diary, but I wouldn't give them as a comparison. It's not a fair comparison. It's a very different feeling. While Bridget Jones did suffer from anxiety and depression, it was kind of turned into a charming quirk versus a debilitating illness. So it doesn't completely destroy her life, but it does really affect her life. It kind of destroys her life. It's sad, but it's really good and it's really worth reading. I don't want to spoil the end, but like there's hope in it. It's not completely hopeless because otherwise it would be such an intense book. But it's worth a read and it's really good and I highly recommend it. So those are the 5 books that I recommend from the fiction side of things in the mental health world. If you like this book, give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, click that subscribe button down below. I hope to talk to you in the comments. I would like to say thank you to my Patreons. I love you guys so much. If you feel like you would like to support me in this way, I will link it down in the doobly-doo. I'll talk to you in my next video and I'll see you there. Bye!